This is so much fun. I love hearing about what you're knitting, especially as we're getting into new seasons. Everybody is hungry for that information. Everybody is looking for that next pattern, that next big pattern, that next big seasonal knit. And it's really very easy. And I just got such a clean, professional look with little effort. Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up for beautiful, professional results with little effort. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi everybody, it's Bobby of Knitter's Kniche. Welcome to my bonus room. Welcome to my Knitter's Kniche. Today is, I'm looking right here, it's Thursday, June 5th. It is 3:46 p.m. In the afternoon here. We have a cloudy day, so there's not a whole lot of light up here, but I think we can make it work today. All right, we're going to talk about trends yet again. I don't know if y'all have noticed, a big trend is titling some of these tees a plain tee. And we're going to pull from different designers here, and I'm going to show you what their top trending tees are. And they are, basically they're calling them simple and plain, plainly simple. So what I'm wearing here, let's just jump right in. Let's get going. Okay, what I'm wearing today is by My Favorite Things, and it is called Blouse number 1. I have knit this with 2 strands of cotton yarn held together, fingering weight cotton yarn. And the yarns I used, and I have used these before, but I have never taken 2 different colors, and got a marled effect in any of my cotton tees. Well, this isn't a tee, it's a sweater. You can make it in a short sleeve, no problem. You will definitely have to increase your decreases more frequently here to get a tighter fit on your upper arm. But I'm going to stand up and show you what is really intriguing about this sweater. Again, you could do a tee also, because she does have tees in her collection. Okay, here's the yarn. It is Sandnes Garn Tynn Lina, and the Tynn Lina again is the fingering weight. And I have used the Kitt, and which is the color name, and this is called Light Beige. It says on Wool & Company's website, which is where I get all of my Sandnes Garn yarn. It is called Light Beige, and these are the 2 colors I held together. So I'm going to stand up and let you take a look at the effect that I got holding those yarns together. You know what? I'm just going to scoot my chair back here so you all can take a look. Here it is. Isn't this nice? This is so nice. Let me go up top here. You cast on it. I went down a needle size in this because the 2 yarns I was holding together were not getting the gauge that I needed. So I thought, well, and I liked the gauge. I had knit the Caprock tee. I'll put a picture here so you can see it, with the same needle sizes that I have knit this one. And they happen to be a needle size smaller than what the pattern recommends to get gauge, and I did not get gauge. Now, my rows are off, and generally when you go down a needle size, it's going to shorten your stitches, so your rows are going to be off. But I was conscious about that, and I decided to knit 1 size larger than I normally would in this particular pattern. This is more of a fitted pattern, however. I knit the size 3, which I don't know if she calls it medium. Let me see here. I don't think she does. She does. She calls it medium. So there's extra small, small, medium, large, and on up, extra large and on up to 4XL. So this is a very popular pattern. I have never knit any of her patterns before. I have never bought any of them. I have a lot of them in my favorites. So again, let's get down to business here, and we're going to talk about this. The yoke and the sleeves are shaped with the contiguous method of knitting construction. So I will go ahead and let you take a look at the shoulder here, and you can see as I'm knitting here, you cast on here with 1 needle size smaller, so mine would have been the 5, and then I knit with a 7. So I cast on with the US 5, which I think is 3.75 millimeter. The US 7, I think 4.5. So all you're doing is casting on, and you're getting this slight little roll here because the stockinette wants to roll. And then when you get to the part of the pattern, you're just doing increases on both sides here. You get to the part of the pattern, they're going to start the contiguous process of the sleeve, of the shoulder here. So for the first rounds, I believe it was the first 7 rounds, you will increase just on one side here, make one right and make one left on each round. And then as you're going on down, you'll see it changes. It's every other round. And then you go on down, you're going to add, on this side, you're going to add more increases here. So it gives you a nice, clean, really clean look. All right, let's take a closer look at this. I'll put some video of me wearing it also. What I really like best about this too is your sleeves are going to roll. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's probably done increases. I have decreased where the pattern said to decrease. And then right here, you can see right here, there is one increase round. That gives you this almost a bell look to the sleeve. So when you're holding it down, it just looks so cute. So let's tuck it in here too and see what that looks like. Isn't that cute? This is so versatile. I will say too, the same increases are done on the back. So you get, anytime you do a consistent pattern, whether it be just your increases or your decreases, you are going to get actually a pattern, a stitch pattern in your project. So I really like this. This has a nice weight to it. It's a little bit heavier, but it has a coolness to it. This yarn, let's take a look here at the percentages of the makeup of the yarn. 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. So you're getting a nice drape with this yarn. But again, this is more of a fitted, and she says it right in the pattern. She says it in the pattern description on Ravelry that this is a fitted sweater. So, or blouse. She calls it a blouse, and it is a blouse. It's lovely. Oh my gosh, I would love to knit this, and you know what I'm going to say. I would love to knit this with a fingering weight, probably merino, and with your mohair. With a strand of mohair. That would be beautiful. There are well over 1,000 of these blouses have been knit, and it's all on Ravelry. I'll put the name of the designer and the pattern down below where you can link to it. It'll take you right to it. So this is what I'm wearing today. You know, I know y'all, last episode I had told you about the Cabana tee that I'm test knitting. Well, the test knit is over, but it hasn't been released yet. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know what has happened with mine. Here it is, the Cabana tee. And that is by Cocoamour Knitwear. I really, really like this. I will show you what I have completed. The reason it is not done, and it would have well been done, is because I needed more of the soft blue Knitting for Olive. I'm going to reach down here. Knitting for Olive merino. And I got more, and it is definitely a different color. And I know better. I know better. And you know, you're thinking Knitting for Olive, maybe you can get away with that. It didn't even occur to me. So here's the last little bit that I had started knitting the Cabana tee with. And then here's the new, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but this new is definitely more gray than this blue. I don't know if it's going to show up. I hope it does. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put a B-roll right here of what I had on Instagram so you can take a look at it, either here or here. Asking if anyone had a particular, I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, the die lot number, if they had any in stash that they would be willing to sell, because I will buy it. So here's the issue. What I needed to complete, and right off the bat, this is what the designer said, I need for all of you to knit one sleeve, knit, of course, start at the neckline, knit the yoke, separate for arms, and then complete one sleeve, which I did. And this is where I needed to come and cast on the new. And I can see it. I can see that it's gray. much more gray than the other blue. And it's very hard to see, but I know if I keep going, I'm just going to have a hard line right there and you're going to see it. But here it is. And this is probably about where I was last time I'd shown everyone. And it just breaks my heart. The only other thing I could do, I'll put a picture of it in a video of me wearing it, is the Sunday tee by PetiteKnit, and I had knit it with Knitting for Olive Merino in the soft blue. This is what this is left over from. The only other thing I could do is frog that, is rip it all out, go ahead and soak it, hang to dry, so all the little squiggles and all the little kinks come out of the yarn, because that happens after it's been knit. Your yarn will be kinked, and you must straighten that out before you reuse it. I hate to do that. It is such a beautiful tee. It is such beautiful details to it. I really, really hate to do that. So if any of you have, again, I'm going to put the number right here. If you have this number, die lot number, in Knitting for Olive Sky Blue, I have contacted the company. I have contacted stockists across the United States, and they have DM'd me back. I have had no good news about it. And of course, I contacted Wool & Co., Wool & Company in Elgin, Illinois, because that's where I originally had purchased the yarn, this color, the first color. So do be aware of that. And I know better. Do not do as I do. Please. Don't do that, because so much work. And I really, truly love this. This is knit with. If any of you haven't seen any of my past videos, it is also knit with the marzipan mohair held together, and it has a marled look, but a really, really soft, beautiful look to it. So again, this has not been released yet, but I will let everyone know when it has. It is the Cabana tee. So that's where I stand with that. And I just wanted to let everyone know, because I can't sit here and say, oh, I've started this, and show it to you and not show you the end result. So it might be that I rip all of that out and then maybe get more of the merino, more of the newer color, and just reknit it. I might have to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because I tell you what, I've got so much going on, y'all. I've got some collaboration, a big one coming up next month. I'll be putting it out in July, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about that next month. On May 7th, I received a DM on Instagram, generous offer from a viewer, and her name is Constantina, and she owns a business that is called Ciel. It's Ciel, Miami, and it has, what they do is they make beautiful leather goods. They make purses and sandals. These are all made by Greek leather craftsmen, and the leather is a high-grade Italian leather. And she wanted to send me a bag. And I said, oh my goodness, that will be wonderful. Thank you so much. And I said, I've noticed that you have this other bag, and it is called the mini bucket. It is right behind me, and she has sent me this mini bucket because I said, you know what, and I wasn't expecting 2 bags at all. I said, I really like that mini bucket. That would be perfect for a knitter, absolutely perfect. And you know what, this came yesterday. She sent me 2 bags, this one right here. It's the other bag. This is the sling, and this is the mini bucket. And this is my new project bag right here. This is my new project bag. I have filled it with the next thing I'm going to talk about. Here it is. This is fine Italian leather. It has such a beautiful thickness to it. The more I use it, it's going to get softer and softer. But yeah, this is the bucket bag. Genuine leather, handmade in Greece. Just beautiful. And she also sent me this bag protector right here. two of them. I have two of them, one for each bag. But this is the mini bucket. So when you search mini bucket. I'm just going to bring it up right here. The color selection is Blanco, and Blanco would be a white, like an ivory color, camel, coral, or Talco. And this is Talco. Isn't that adorable? This is such a great spring and summer color. And not only do they have handcrafted bags, they also have sandals. And the leather work is just phenomenal on this. It's all done by hand very slowly, so each little stitch is nice and even, beautifully done. Isn't that sweet? Our handmade mini bucket, made of fine Italian leather, is the perfect mix of playful and stylish. A fun addition to any outfit handcrafted in Greece. And it comes with a dust bag, which they call these a dust bag. It's a drawstring bag. I appreciate that so much. This is just so sweet. Now, again, I wasn't expecting two bags. So the other bag she has sent me, which is perfect for knitting out in public, is the Sling Bag. And this, I tell you what, this is so nice. This Sling Bag is really a nice size. It gets out of your way on your shoulder here, on your, it gets out of your way on your hip. Oh, and she also sent me this little, I'll have to look it up and see what this is called. I'm gonna put all of my little notions in here. All my little stitch markers, I can keep it in the bag, or I can use it for anything. Anything tiny that you might wanna carry with you. You can remove this, it's removable. This can be your keychain, and then it has their logo on there. Again, it's pronounced Ciel, and Ciel means sky in French, which I didn't know that. So I looked that up, and it means sky in French. Let's take a closer look at the Sling Bag. You have this zipper that comes clear around here that you can put all of your yarn in. Well, hang on. Let me put a sweater in here. I'll show you. This is one of my very favorite sweaters. So let's fold it up. I know this is going to easily fit in here. This is the Techless sweater, and this is by Claudia Quintanilla of Knit Toronto. Remember the lace sleeves? So pretty. Okay, let's fold it up. It is easily going to fit in here. So you could have a sweater amount of yarn in here. No problem whatsoever. Look, fits nice and neat in there. There you go. And then also on the back side here, let me take it off and show you here. On the back, you have another little secure zipper compartment to put your phone. You could put a billfold in there. Very nice. You could put your sunglasses. And I will show you too, all on the inside here. Put the sweater out. Look at all that. Put the sweater out. It is all open. Oh, it does have an interior pocket. Let's go ahead and put your needles in here for your knitting. It is deep. My hand will fit. It's a deep pocket. And deep. I just don't know if you're getting the idea exactly the size of this bag. I was just so pleasantly surprised. And you know, I'm going to London in December. We're going to go look at the London Christmas lights in December. This bag is going with me. I can't wait to use it. It feels so good. The natural material, your leather, just feels so good to your skin, against your skin. It warms to your body, and it forms, and it is just beautiful. So you can kind of flip it over if it's not real full. You can tuck this under. Look at that. Isn't it great? And I always tend to carry this way across my body. I know maybe it's because I'm right-handed, and I suppose if you're left-handed, you just wear it on the other side. Probably is because I'm right-handed. But I just really wanted to feature her bags on the show today. So I want you, y'all to go to Ciel, Ciel _ Miami. Follow her on Instagram. Go ahead and take a look at her website, and she talks all about her company. She shows you all the sandals. So let's do a B-roll of some of the products that this beautiful company makes. Okay, now the next thing we need to talk about. I am doing a test knit. And you know what? I also had this wonderful, wonderful designer reach out to me on Instagram. She DM'd me. She's coming out with this new pattern, and she wanted to know if I tested it for her. And not only that, she wants to furnish the yarn. And the yarn actually came from Denmark. It's Isager yarn. So I said, oh, absolutely, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for including me in your test knit. I appreciate that so much. Actually, the yarn is sponsored by Isager. So thank you, Isager, for sponsoring the yarn for this test knit. So let's get back to the little mini bucket here. This is the Isager yarn that I'm going to be using in the test knit. And the test knit is for the Zuri tee. I'll put a picture up here of the Zuri tee. And she said there's no secrets here on this test knit, so I can talk about it as much as I want, showing as much photos. Now the Zuri tee is a sister, a spring version of her Zuri sweater. So let's take a look at the yarn. Thank you, Isager, for sponsoring this yarn for this test knit that I'm participating in. Okay, here we go. These are new to me. Isager yarn that I had used was called Eco Baby, and I'll put a picture of the sweater that I had used. So that's the only Isager yarn I had ever used. So I was very excited because I see this all over Instagram. I see it all over YouTube, on these podcasts, these knitting podcasts. I see Isager yarn on there all the time. So this is the Merlina Isager, and it is 80% wool. There's the name. It's 80% wool, 20% flax, and it's hand washed cool, lay flat to dry. The Isager Merilin, the color is number 61, and it is a dusty, dusty light pink. It's almost coming up purplish. It's not. It's definitely just a dusty pink. And it's held together with, it is a fingering weight yarn. It's held together with this. Now, this is so intriguing. This is called the Trio 2. And I'll put the makeup of the yarn on the, actually, I will list it down here. I'll print it down here right on the screen, and also down below I'll put a link, which will take you to Isager. Okay, this is 50% linen, 30% cotton, and 20% lyocell. This is a 50-gram ball. There's 175 meters in this. So again, this is hand wash cool, lay flat to dry. So I will be holding these two yarns together, and I'll put a picture of the sweater for you to take a look at, the tee, and also the sweater. But you know, there are so many designers out there that actually need our attention, our accolades, our applause, because I'm not a designer. I will never be a designer because I just don't have the knack for it. And plus I'm 66 years old, so I have no business even starting to design anything. But I appreciate so much their talent. I appreciate so much their effort, and I appreciate so much when they reach out to me and say, would you test knit for me? Here's the yarn. These are the dates. I would love to have you do it. And I said, I thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joyin. I'm just thrilled, absolutely thrilled to do that. So that will be on my needles. Actually, this one I just got done today. I just got this one done today. So I will be, this evening, I'm going to be casting on the Zuri tee. So very, very excited about that. This bucket. I cannot tell you how much I love this thing. You want to see how much is in here? All the yarn that she had sent me is in here, is in this bag. See, I'm taking out the bag. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 5 more in here. And look how cute this is. It actually has this little strap in the bag with a clip. Isn't that nice? Which keeps it nice and snug for you. This is so cute. You know what? This is perfect for a project bag, especially when you have the yarn coming out. You can have one coming out on this side, one coming out on this side. If you have 4 different colors for color work, one coming here, one coming here, they will not get tangled because you've got all these little separations here. So this is a perfect project bag, and it's also a bag that you can carry. If you're doing some public knitting, you can use it as a purse. You can use it for any knitting project that you would have. Like I told you, there is 10 different skeins of yarn in this little mini bucket. It's so sweet, so sweet. Okay, I'll go ahead and put this back here. You know, I really like to have things for different things for y'all to look at while I'm chatting away about my knitting. You know, I kind of look for that in the podcast when I'm watching. I think, you know, I just don't want to be a talking head, as they say, just sit here and talk and, you know, not have anything to show you, because, you know, we're all here to learn and find out about new things. So let me put that there. Hopefully I don't drop that. Oh, it's just adorable. Okay, it's the sling right here. It's the sling in the mini bucket by Ciel _Miami on Instagram. So go ahead and look them up and take a look at what they have. The sandals are outstanding. I would love to have some sandals too. Maybe someday, maybe someday. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, let's get down to the title of this video, okay? You know, I was thinking, and I've had people tell me before, Bobby, you think about things and see things that I don't even think about. And they're just kind of little, little stuff, little things I notice. And I notice them as I'm looking at Instagram, and I see what the trends are in knitting, the seasonal trends in knitting. And right now, of course, we're talking about spring and summer, and we're talking about tees. So what I've been seeing again and again and again are these designers that title their tees, several of them do, they'll say plain tee number 1, plain tee number 2. And I thought, well, I'm going to get to looking more into this. And my gosh, there is a plethora of them. This, I consider, it's not titled as that. It's called blouse number 1. It is not titled as a simple. I consider it a simple. And I don't mean like simple, just like, and I don't necessarily mean easy. It is easy, but everybody's easy is different. So my easy might not be the same as yours, and what's difficult for me might not be difficult for you. So what I mean by simple, I mean simple construction in the aesthetic part of it, how it looks, how it comes together, the aesthetics, the silhouette, for instance, the contiguous, which I've never done contiguous before. So easy. You know, you hear these words as a knitter and you hear contiguous, and I'm thinking, oh boy, no, it wasn't hard at all. When I was explaining earlier, it's all, you're working in the round and you're just adding you're just adding increases, and at a different rate. Here it starts off every row, and then you go into every other row, and then you're adding. It just all works out so nice. So let's talk about the bundle that I have come up with. Of course, I always have a bundle. Bobby's bundles. Should we call it Bobby's bundles? Okay, let's get into my Ravelry page here. And you know, I have a hard time saying Ravelry. It's a tongue twister for me. Okay, right now I have blouse number 1 up here. I do not have it in this bundle. It's in the previous bundle to another episode 2 episodes ago, I believe. I'll put a link down below to that video so you can take a look at that video. And again, I'm using the word plain, P-L-A-I-N, plain. Plain cardigans, plain tees, and plain sweaters. So I have several in here, and as I was looking for this, as I was looking for simple, plain, or I'm going to call them plainly simple tees, I came up with a new designer. Y'all, this is a good one. And I know, hang on, I know I get excited, but this is a good one, all right? This is a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. I'm going to click on this and tell you about this designer. I looked up the word simple top, and this came up, Simple Summer Top. And Simple Summer Top is by Cleome Smith. Okay, let's take a look at this pattern of this new designer, new to me designer, I have found. Okay, this breezy warm weather top with its simple construction and square shape contradict its ability to take on a curvy and drapey look when worn. So that's interesting. So she's saying here that this basically simple top, the way it's constructed, the way this shape is, totally contradicts once you get it on your body. You have this beautiful drape. And of course, too, something that always matters too is the yarn that you use to get that drape. She also says, especially when knit with a fiber or fibers suited to summer, such as silk, linen, cotton, or viscose. So all of these fibers lend toward a nice drape like I have in what I'm wearing here. This is knit in the round from the bottom hem up. Okay, so this is a bottom up. I have done bottom up before. A bottom up sweater that I had knit was the Weekender Crew, and it was a spin-off from the Weekender. And the Weekender Crew basically is a DK weight, and it also does not have a boat neck to it. And real quick, there's no bra showing, y'all, none at all. My bra strap is over here, so it's a finger, at least a finger width in. So yeah, I really like this one. It's called the Basic Short Sleeve Pullover. And reason I like this, you see a bit of poof on the sleeve, and I don't think that she really goes into that too much, is saying this has a puff sleeve. It's very, very slight. I do really like the raglan increases that she has done on this. I'll put some pictures here for you to see. Oh, yeah, and I didn't tell you. Shoot. And it says in big, black, bold letters here, this pattern includes instructions for 4 different yarn weights: fingering, DK, worsted, and bulky. And you want to know how much it cost? $6 US. And she has all of those yarn weights put in here. Her sizes go from small to 4X. So I'm telling you, she's a good one. She's a good one. And follow her on Instagram. Let me put a little B-roll here with some of her patterns that she has on Instagram. She has a beautiful, her Instagram page is just gorgeous. I'm loving all the colors that she's using in her Instagram. Those are my kind of colors now. I'm choosing, really nice, almost I don't know if it's beachy is the color the name I'm looking for, but that's what I'm leaning toward. I really like her color aesthetic. So please look into this designer. To get a pattern for $6 US and you have 4 different yarn weight instructions in that pattern. I mean, you can't get any better than that. You really can't. You really can't. So as I'm looking on through here, I won't be able to talk about all these patterns today. I have plain yoke sweater, and this is by Lynette, which is Lene Home Sanso, and you know my love for her patterns. She's the best. She is the designer who had designed the Clover tee that I have knit. She has designed the Peacock tee I have not knit, but I want to knit. There are so many beautiful, beautiful patterns by her. So this plain yoke sweater kind of reminds me of what I'm wearing here, is the Buy My Favorite Things. It reminds me of that. She recommends holding 2 yarns together. Oh, a chunky mohair. Sandnes Garn chunky mohair. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to take a look into that chunky mohair. So that's another plain yoke sweater. And you also see the plain yoke T28. Now that is also by Lene Home Samso. And this is knit with fingering weight yarn. She suggests knitting for olive pure silk or Sandnes Garn Tynn Lina. And Tynn Lina would be held single because it is a fingering weight. And I held mine double, 2 different colors to get the marled look. So I'm really liking this pattern. And also the plain yoke T22. So you have all of these different versions of these tees, which have, each one of them have some unique construction. So you can read through these and see which one that you might like best, maybe more than one. So let's talk about cardigans. You know, this is called Plain Cardigan Light. And this is also by Lene Home Samso. I really like this one. She's suggesting Sandnes Garn Tynn Silk Mohair with Isager Yarn Soft Fine. And the Isager Yarn Soft Fine is a light fingering weight. And both these yarns are held together. So when you hold those two together, it looks like the Isager Yarn Soft Fine is alpaca and silk and yak, and it has a brushed texture, so it's going to have a little bit of a fuzzy texture. And then when you hold that with that, I believe which one was it, the Sandnes Garn Tynn Silk Mohair together, you are going to get a beautiful texture with this. I love that. So let's see what needle size she suggests. US 4, 3.5 millimeter, US 6, 4 millimeter, and US 7, 4.5 millimeter. This goes from extra, extra small to 5XL. It is an open cardigan, a simple open cardigan with no buttons. I would knit that tomorrow. And the nice thing about these that say that they're plain or that they're simple, they are going to be quicker knits, and we do like quicker knits in this warmer weather because we have a lot going on. Now, granted, you know, I have viewers from Australia and so many other places in the world, and you know, Australia is the complete opposite side of the earth, of the world, to me. So they are actually in their fall, and I don't know what month their winter starts. So anything long sleeve like what I'm wearing here, because you can knit this would be so cute. Like I said, with merino and mohair, this would be really, really cute. So I want to do that sometime too. Okay, let's see what else I have in this bundle. The Ivy blouse was just put out just last month, May 2025. She already has close to 100 patterns out there on Ravelry that people have knit. So there's been 96 blouses been knit already in this short amount of time. 2 lace yarns held together, which would equal DK. You use a US number 4, which I love that gauge. With a US number 4 needle, which is 3.5 millimeter. I love the look, the drape of a fabric done with that size and needle for spring and summer. I really do. Of course, these two I used a number 7, but what she's using here is mohair. Oh, 2 mohairs together because they're 2 laced together. So she's calling that DK. You know, sometimes they call 2 laces held together a fingering weight, so you'll need to do a gauge swatch to make sure you're on gauge with this sweater. Excuse me, blouse. The Ivy blouse. And I think she is coming out with the Ivy tank. I can search and see if it's out yet. But you know, this pattern reminds me so much of what I'm wearing right now. Oh, and real quick too, in this pattern, the blouse number 1, there's also a blouse number 1 light, and it is done with 2 mohairs held together. So that would be great too. All right, well, I have a wonderful bundle here. I don't have time to talk about all of them. Again, I call it, and they're not plain, but that's what they call them. Plain cardigans, plain tees, plain sweaters. I should put plain blouses on there too. I will change the name of that. My Ravelry name is Bobby Knits It with a capital B, and the rest of it's lowercase. Now in Instagram, my name is just like my channel, Knitter's Niche, all lowercase. I frequently put things on Instagram. Well, something else I wanted to talk about is actual cotton yarn. Again, this is the Tynn Lena that I had knit with, these 2 colors held together. And if you look behind me here, I almost forget, you know, I'll have these things behind me because I want y'all to have something to look at. I don't want to be a talking head just sitting here talking to my camera and you just looking at me and I'm just, you know, looking right back at you, talking about what I'm knitting. I want you to see things. I want you to have something to look at because there's always a lot of stuff that I think I need to talk about. So the pattern behind me is the Autumn League Pullover by 2 of Wands. And I have knit this with Lion Brand's LB collection. It is called Jeans. And they are, isn't that cute? I had knit this, I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago when I was in Florida, and I think I knit it in the month of February. It was when I had COVID. I knit it, I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't do anything. I had to stay in our condo down there. So I knit this and I knit another sweater too. I just kept knitting. I think it was the, what's the other one I knit? Salty Air Tea. Yeah, that's the other one I had knit. So let me grab this yarn. I don't have the ball band for it and it looks a little ratty, but I want you to take a look at it. This is it. Now this is a DK weight yarn and it looks like, see its marled look to it. Look, sorry. See that? And it has that, isn't that X darling? You know the old school sweatshirts. See, I grew up 60s and 70s and you wore sweatshirts and even the 80s too. Oh, this has a split hem. But I wanted to talk about yarn and how I'm not really well versed on a lot of cotton yarns because, for garments anyway, because these are the only 2 yarns I have ever knit. Oh, hang on. Well, it's basically the same yarn. It's just a different weight. The DK weight is Lena and the fingering weight is Tynn Lena. So I have knit with this, the DK weight. And what I had knit this with, and I'll put a picture up here, is the, I think it's pronounced Ilha, I-L-H-A. I'll put the information here and down below, the designer's name for you to take a look at. I will list it down below also in the description so you can just click right onto it. So I did want to talk about some yarn, a cotton. I love this yarn. You know, I watch, I think it's called, is it called Cozy Knits? Cozy Up Knits? Cozy Up Knits, I think. And they're sisters, they're hilarious. They're actually in Canada. I don't know what part of Canada. I don't remember. But anyway, they are always knitting the Autumn League Pullover. They knit it more than once. There's 3 sisters, there's 4, but 3 of them are generally on the podcast now. And I love it. I love the weight of it. I love the feel of it on my body. This is a DK weight yarn. So I would recommend, so I actually only have 2 brands for knitting garments that I would recommend. The Lion brand collection, and it's 100% cotton, flat out 100% cotton. This is it. That's it, and I love it. I don't know what to tell you other than, and it's not that expensive. Right now I have never found it in a store. I've gone on their website, lionbrand.com. I can put a link down below to this yarn. I would highly recommend this for any DK weight summer knitting that you want to do. It is a little, but you know, a lot of times cotton yarn is, if you see the end, how it's kind of splitty. I mean, and you know, this yarn did too. When I was knitting this, holding the two yarns together, let me see, I don't think I have an end. These are brand new ones here. There's an end. And they do, as you're handling them, as you're knitting, it does want to split. But, I mean, I'm used to knitting with it, so it doesn't bother me because I just get this nice, so soft. I don't have to worry about it having a certain wool that I might be a little itchy with. And you can knit with this and wear them in the winter too. Just use a heavier gauge, or excuse me, just use a heavier yarn weight in your cotton. Just use a heavy yarn weight. All right, well, I wanted to let you know about that because I'm sitting here looking around, making sure I'm talking about everything. And check everything out in the link below. I will have Ciel, Miami, all their information about their purses and their sandals. It's a great, great investment for your yarn. You know, here's the thing. I'm always thinking, I want to carry my yarn in something other than, do I have a bag up here? Just a paper bag? I don't think I do. I try not to use those. Paper bag with handle, you know, I don't want to do that. And I want to have something nice. And I want to have something that I can interchange and use like a purse, that I don't necessarily just have to. And so you're getting double use from that. So check out her website, check out her Instagram page, follow her on Instagram, give her a lot of love. Again, her shop is in Miami. The yarn is Italian, fine, high-grade Italian leather. I think I said yarn. It's leather. Thank you so much for watching today. First off, I want to thank my returning viewers and thank my new viewers. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like and comment. That supports my channel more than anything, and it's free. There's no charge. Just click on the bell below and hit subscribe. And remember, go out and knit the day. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.